Hey everyone, how are you doing today? Welcome back. If you're new, welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can generate 4 different character or object views from a single input image. You will get the front, back, left, and right views. Let's take a look. Here's an example. As you can see, we have a front view, a back view, we have the left side view, and then the right side view. These 4 images were generated using a single image. If you go down here, we have another example. This one was generated using this input image here, and we can see that it's a 512 by 512, and this input image was generated using an SD 1.5 model. The output from today's video will generate 1024 by 1024 resolution images. You will get the 4 sides. It will automatically upscale images or downscale images depending on the initial resolution. It will also enhance the detail. Here's another one. In this case, I am doing a toy. We have this as the input image here. This one, as you can see, it's on a table. We have background. Today's workflow will automatically cut the character from the background and then place them on a clean background like this here. Let's do another example here. This one is a side view of a car. This is my input image. And if I zoom in here, you will see at the top that my screenshot captured a little bit of my browser. I got the URL bar at the top. There's the search here. Going down, you can see a little bit of my status bar for my browser. Still, I gave the AI this image and it generated these 4 images from just one single picture. So we got these 2 side views here, the back view here, the front view here. At this stage, I was not satisfied with the 2 side views. While they look okay, I wanted a flat 180-degree side views. I generated again just for these 2. The workflow supports generating each one of these individually. Once generated, I got these 2 as my side views. Let's move on to a few more examples. While we can do these where we take one input image and generate different views of that input image, we can also take an input image and generate a variation of that input image. In this specific case, the first one here, the first row, gives you what we've already seen. We take the input image, we generate the 4 views of that input image. We can also change the character to a female variation. It keeps everything else the same. Here's another example. I take this as my input image and I ask it to give me a bald person. Now we have a bald person, again the same suit. Now we can also change other things. In this row here, I'm asking the AI to give me this person in a different suit. In this case, it did not do such a good job. As you can see, it left a little bit of the previous cosplay. We can see the S from the Superman at the top that got left behind, even though we have a tie in front of it. The back view is great. The side views, we again see those places. This is from one click. So we can take these images and do a second pass where we ask it to remove these imperfections. That also is possible. I kept these here in the demo so that you understand the workflow, while all of these from the top until the second to last row here were generated using a single click. The last row here will require additional processing in order to get a good image. I'm going to consider the success rate of this workflow quite high, about 90%. Now, today's workflow is part of a bigger project I am doing where I generate these 4 different views and then take them into an animation workflow where we can do a 360-degree character animation. Now, because the workflow is too complex, I've decided to break the video into 2 parts. Today's video will focus on the character generation part. Next video, I'm going to show you the animation part. If you have not subscribed, now may be the time. This is going to be a tutorial based video where I'm going to provide a step-by-step guide on each section of the workflow. There are a few prerequisites. You will require ComfyUI. If you do not have ComfyUI, I have a full installation guide for ComfyUI and ComfyUI Manager. You can also download today's workflow and the assets for completely free. I will have a link in the description below. Let's go through a quick demo here. This is the full workflow. We'll start at the top. Here I've placed my character. This input image has a background with people and some details. My prompt is very simple, a man, that's it. Clicking on run button, we'll get 4 different views. We'll get the front view here, the back view, we have the left side view, and then the right side view. Let's do another example. Once again, I'm going to go here into the load image, select a different image. You can drag and drop as well. Let's do a car. In this particular case, I'm going to change my prompt to a car. That's it. Click on the run button. And once completed, you can go all the way to the right side here and you will get your 4 different views here. Let's get started with the full tutorial. I'm going to break down this workflow into smaller chunks, explain what they do, and this will help you understand how the workflow works. If you want to modify a particular section, you will be able to do it. By the end of this video, you should be able to simply drag an image into this field here, describe the image, and then get 4 different sides of that input image. Let's get started. As I mentioned before, there will be a link in the description below where you will be able to download the workflow, this .json file here. I will also include these 4 input images that you can use for testing. First thing that you'll need to make sure is that your ComfyUI is up to date. You can do this by going inside the ComfyUI Windows portable folder, go inside the update folder, and then double click on update_ComfyUI.bat to update your ComfyUI. Then start your ComfyUI like you would normally do. This will take you to ComfyUI. You can have a different workflow. It does not really matter. Once you've downloaded the workflow I've shared, go inside the folder. By default, when you download the workflow, it will be in your downloads folder. Locate that workflow, the Qwen Image edit 4 views.json file, drag it and drop it inside of ComfyUI. Once you let go, you may get this message here that says missing models. In this example here, I have only 1 missing model, but you can have up to 4 missing models here. Simply click on the download button. It will start the download process. Wait for it to complete. And then if you have more, just click on the download button for each one. Close out of that box once completed. You may also get this error message saying that some nodes are missing. In my case, I have these 2 here. It's possible that it will show more for you. We'll close out of this box as well. And then we'll go to the top here where we have the manager. Then we'll click on install missing custom nodes. And it will tell you what are the missing custom nodes you will need to install. In my case, for the purpose of this tutorial, I've disabled mine so that I can show you the error messages. If you've never installed these before, it will show install button here. Here's an example of how it's going to look. You will see an install button like this. Click on this checkbox at the top. It will select all. At the bottom here, you will see an install button. Once again, in my case, I see enable. Click on the install button. It will install each one. Once completed, you will see a restart button down below. Click on it, confirm, and it will restart ComfyUI. You just need to wait a little bit. You can also go into your terminal. You will see some stuff happening. It can even show certain dependencies that are being installed. Just wait for it to complete. When you go back to ComfyUI, you will get this confirmation box here that will ask you if you would like to refresh the screen. Click on confirm. It's going to refresh the workflow. And once again, it's telling us that we are missing some models. We'll close out of this box, and this time we don't have any missing custom nodes. Now your workflow may be at a different zoom level. Let's reset the zoom level so that everyone is at the same point. You can click on a blank space in here and then press the period key. This will zoom you out. If you are zoom in like this, simply click on a blank space and then press period. It will zoom you out. You should be able to see everything. If you have any difficulty, there is a fit view at the bottom that you can click on. Navigating inside of ComfyUI is very easy. If you click on a blank space and you drag, you will be able to move around the workflow. You can also use the middle click if you have a mouse with a wheel. With the middle click, you can click inside anywhere and that will allow you to move. If you have difficulty, you can also switch to the hand option here. Click on the hand icon. This will give you the hand, and now you will be able to move anywhere you want. You can zoom in and out by using the scroll wheel. Once again, you can zoom in, zoom out, simply roll it up and down. If you're unable to do so, you can always use the zoom controls down. Click on it. It will tell you the shortcut to zoom in and zoom out. In order to select the node, you will need to select this icon here. The shortcut key is V. Okay, so we'll go into this select mode. I'm going to click on the top here and then press the period key. This is our first step. You will need to get an image and you will need to type in a prompt. Now, I already have a few images that I've added. By default, it's going to show you the example image. So I'm going to change it to, let's do this one. Now, next thing, we need to add a prompt here. So this here is going to be the prompt, and it says here a simple prompt. I've added a help section here. Ideally, you want to have 1024 by 1024 resolution, and your prompt should be simple. Here's an example, a blonde woman. In this specific case, I'm just going to say a woman like this. Next, we'll go to this step 2 here. Click on step 2, press the period key, and it will zoom you out. These are all the models that you'll need. Now, there's a help section here that will tell you where to place all of the models. We will be using the Qwen Image Edit 2509, and I'm using the FP8 version. If you have the VRAM, you can do the FP16 as well. This 2509 is the latest version of Qwen Image Edit. It's also known as the Qwen Image Edit Plus version. You will also need the LoRa, the Qwen Image Lightning 4 steps LoRa. There's the VAE and the text encoder. You'll need to place them inside of ComfyUI models and these individual folders. Let me show you where mine are. So we'll go inside of ComfyUI portable folder. Inside the ComfyUI folder, locate the models folder, go inside it, and then open the diffusion models, go inside. You will need to place your Qwen Image Edit 2509 in here. Most likely it's going to be in your downloads folder. Again, right click, select copy. You can press Ctrl C to copy. Come to this ComfyUI models diffusion folder, Ctrl V to paste. Make sure it is here. Next, we'll go back into the LoRa's folder, and in here you will need to place this one, the Qwen Image Lightning 4 steps model. We'll go back, we'll have text encoders folder, go inside it, and you will see the Qwen 2.5 VL7B. You'll need to paste yours here if you don't have it. Finally, there is a VAE folder. Inside it, you will place the Qwen Image VAE model. Once you have all of these models, you can go back to ComfyUI. Let's zoom out once again. So I'm going to click on a blank space here, press the period key, zoom out, and then you can press the R key on your keyboard. This will reload the node definitions. Once reloaded, you can select any of these 4 nodes, press the period key, and then make sure that you are seeing the models that you've downloaded. By default, this workflow has already selected the models. So as long as you've downloaded the same model files and you place them in the folder I've showed you, it should already be picked up for you. In terms of setup, that is it. This is step 2 here. The load model is a one-time setup. Every time you load this workflow, the only thing you'll need to do is to update the input image and then the prompt. You can go ahead and click on the run button. Once completed, you should have your 4 different views. We have the front view, the back view, the left side view, and the right side view. That's it. This workflow cannot be any simpler than this. Let's do a quick recap. Make sure you have your models downloaded and placed in the correct folder. Input your image here. Ideally, you want a square resolution of 1024 by 1024, and then describe the image here. It should be a simple prompt, such as this example where we are saying a woman. And then all you'll have to do is to click on the run button to get your 4 different views. Now, I'm going to explain the workflow in detail. For those who are not interested in understanding how the workflow works, I recommend you skip ahead. There will be timestamps in the description below. There will be a section about best practices, tips and tricks on how you can get good images, good results. We are going to zoom out to see everything. The way to read this workflow is start here, then we'll go up, then we'll go here, this section, then we'll have to go down, and then here, and finally we'll get all the results here. Let's start. So this section should be a one-time setup. Select it, press period, and we've already talked about the different models. As long as you don't delete the models, the workflow will keep on working in the future. If there is an update to the Qwen Image edit and you want to use the latest version, you simply need to download the model, place it in the Diffusion models folder, and then come here and change the model. Now we'll go to the top section here where we have the input image. This section is serving 2 purposes. It will allow you to generate 4 different sides of your input image. As you've seen in the demo, you can also modify the input image and then get 4 different sides of this image. So for example, let's say you have an input image like this one and you want to get a bald person, the same suit, just a bald person, right? And then get the 4 different views from it. You're going to select your input image. In the prompt here, you will change your prompt from describing the image to the modification that you want to apply to the image. So instead of a woman, in this case, you can type in a bald woman, and this will modify your input image. The AI will interpret and generate a bald woman first, and then it will use that bald woman image to generate the different views. However, make sure you're not going too complex. Don't go and say a bald woman on the beach wearing this clothes, wearing that pants, holding something in their hand. That's going to confuse the model. It's going to be too complicated and you will not be able to get good results. All right, so we'll zoom out once again. Next, we'll go into this section here, the second part where it says concatenate. This group objective is to resize the image and make sure it is the proper size. It will also convert the image into a latent space that can be passed to the model. And finally, it's going to concatenate your prompt with the section here. So it's going to get a back view of your prompt, a front view, and a left side view of your prompt. Now next we'll go into the next stage, which is text encoders, this section here. And this is just preparing the conditioning that will be passing to the K-samplers next. Now before that, we'll have to go down where we have a normal Qwen Image edit workflow. So we can see that we have a text encode Qwen Image edit plus. It takes an image. This image is this here, the top one. And then we have a negative prompt. This is going to be for the negative prompt. Right now, there's nothing. Of course, advanced users can always experiment. Next, it goes into a K-sampler. We have the seed as fixed. If you want to start over and generate all 4 images once again, you can randomize or get a new fixed random seed from this node here. So this is going to start over from the very beginning. Now next we have a prompt here, and this prompt is responsible for cutting your character from whatever background they have into a grayish, neutral, studio-like background. Like I mentioned in my introduction, this workflow is part of an animation workflow. So I need to ensure that my character or the object are on a neutral background. This way I can mask out in my animation software. If you don't need that, then you can always modify this prompt. Now, this is the first pass. It's a little bit difficult to see because there's so much happening in here. If the overlapping lines here, these connections are too confusing, you can always click on this icon here. That's going to hide the links, and it may be a little bit more pleasant to the eyes. Once we complete this first pass here, it goes into the processing section, and this has the key samplers for each view. Now, once again, the seed for each one is fixed, and you can find the seed for each of these views next to the output image. For the front view, it will be at the top. Same thing for the back view at the top. And then for the side views here, it's controlled by only one seed, which is this one here. And that is because the left and right here, they are connected. The right one is just a flip version of the left side. So whenever you update the left side, the right side will update automatically. In terms of what is happening in the workflow, that is it. I'm going to reactivate the links. Now let's talk about some of the best practices as well as some tips and tricks on how you can make the most out of this workflow. So first, your input image. If you are doing a person, the person should be clearly framed. It should not be somebody that is inclined or half of the face that is hidden, whether it's by hair or hand. That will not generate good results. You can do a pre-work before coming to ComfyUI. You can always use any background removal tool, whether it's from Photoshop or even inside of ComfyUI. Remove the background and then come here to put the new image with a new background, hopefully clean background, as your input image. The prompt should always be a simple prompt, irrespective of whether you are doing the descriptive mode, where you get the same character in 4 different views, or if you are trying to modify the input image, like these ones, to get the same person in different suit or maybe a different person in the same outfit in 4 different views. The prompt should be simple. So if you want to change the clothes here, you would say a woman wearing, let's do office suit, something like this. Okay, simple, just one modification. The more modification you add, the more descriptive this prompt is, the worse the result will be. Now, in terms of models here, if you have like a GGUF version, you'll simply need to get the, well, I don't have it. So we'll go into Manager, Custom Nodes Manager, and then you can search for GGUF and install this custom node here. You will get a GGUF loader node that you can add and simply replace this node. Everything else should work exactly the same way. If you have any difficulty, you can always place it in the comments down below and I will try to help you. Now, the next section is where I'm defining the different views. So I have a back view here, a front view, a left side view. If for any reason you are trying to repurpose this workflow for something else, this is where you are going to make the modification. Whatever you put here is what output you will get in these views. I have the view label at the top. You will see front view here. This one is for the back view, then this left side, and we should have right side here. Each one is independent. So if you want to keep the back view, front view, but for some reason you want to change the left side view, you can change the prompt here. In terms of the text encoders section, there's nothing else you need to do. As you can see, everything is disabled here. You cannot even modify the prompt. Now we can go down to this first pass here, this section here. This section controls what is that first image that will be used to generate all 4 of these. Now, in a simple case where you want this person to have 4 different views, then this input image, as you are seeing it, will be the image that the AI will use to generate the 4 sides. But we can see here that this front view and this front view will be slightly different. So let me open the two images, and if I move between these two here, you can see that we have some changes happening. Especially in the background here, you will see that we have some strand of hair on this side and this side, but this one we don't have it. And that is because this section here will cut the character or object from the background and then place them in a grayish background well lit. So this is an example I showed you earlier. As you can see, we have person in the background, like a lot of people in the background. Now I should have the output in my folder here. All right, this is the output that we got. So I'm inside ComfyUI outputs, and you can see that the person was cut out and placed on a grayish background. There's a back view, side views like this. Now in this case sampler, the processing section, there's nothing to do. You can experiment with the model sampling aura flow here. Right now by default it is at 3. You can always decrease, increase it slightly to see the result. Now this red node here is to start over. So if you randomize the seed and you get a new seed, when you click on the run button, it's going to regenerate for all 4 sections here. These yellow nodes, which are at the top for the front and back view, and on the side for the left and right views, these control the individual output. So if you don't like the front view, but you like the 3 other sides, you can always come to the top here, click on the new fix random. This will give you a random seed, and click the front view, select it. You will get this bar, the toolbar here. You can click on this play icon to execute and run this output only. It will generate a new image for the front view, but the other views will stay the same. You can do the same for the back view here. And since the left view and right views are connected, you have only one seed generator for these 2 views. This is it for generating the different views. Next time, I'm going to show you how to take these views and then generate a 360-degree animation like this one. This is the same person by just rotating the character like so. This can be done for the toy here. The character can move, and you will see a little bit later on we have a car. The car is moving, turning around, and we have this 360-degree animation. There's also an optical illusion happening there in the car that I will explain in the next video. All right, that is it for today. If you reach the very end, I'll appreciate a like. Subscribe if you want to see that animation video next. I would like to say a big thank you to all of my Patreon supporting the channel, and thank you for watching until the very end. Have a nice day. Take care. I will see you next time.